But if you close your eyes,
Hey guys, welcome to an interesting video by Maximus. Today we're back with more Injustice Gods Among Us at last. So, as you guys have probably realized, I haven't really uploaded anything since update 2.18, probably the Green Arrow Challenge if I'm not mistaken. And before we get into the video on patch 2.19, I'd like to explain myself. So basically, there was no content to upload at all. All the repeat challenges I have already had the characters at Elite X, so I didn't actually need to do the challenges, so I didn't, and thus there was no challenge videos to be made. And I've been waiting a long time for new content, which has finally arrived here in the form of patch 2.19, which we'll be talking about momentarily. But anyways, I do want to quickly say that I may not be uploading as often, but I will try to do as much as I can, because now school has started and I'm really busy, so I'll see if I can find the time. If not, then there could be long breaks between my videos, but I will be trying to do the Batman challenge when it comes out, as well as the Tantu Totem and the new gear, hopefully. So anyways, this is a pretty minor update, much like the last one. There's only one new character and one new gear, but I'm still happy about it because it still shows that at least Injustice 1 is getting updates, which I can't really complain much about. Of course, we had update 2.17 where we had like 5 new characters, but that was pretty lucky of us, I think, because this game is barely surviving. But basically, I run through the update description. So this entire chunk, which you guys can read by yourselves, is just basically saying that there is a new character, which is Gaslight Batman, and they do detail his passive in here as well. So actually yesterday morning, I did try to make a video on patch 2.19, which like about 10 of you saw, I think, because I had 10 views, but I suddenly realized that somehow there was no sound, and I recorded with sound. I did check that out. So when I play it on my computer, I can hear the sound, but for some reason when I upload it, there isn't any sound. So this is like my second time recording the video. But I do think that that is a blessing in disguise, because back then I did not know what the character and the gear does, but now I do. So this part basically just says there's bug fixes and there is a new gear. And the bug fixes, the only one I can tell is that the Survivor last life ticket glitch on Android has been patched, but nothing else that I know of really changed. And the glitch for those doesn't work on iOS anyway, so there's a power credit glitch that still works on Android in this update, but on iOS it does not. So yeah, so let's quickly scroll over to the character and the gear. So first off, we have Gotham by Gaslight Batman, named in the game as Gaslight Batman. So yet again, we have another Batman character. Yeah, again, which a lot of people have been complaining about. There's too many Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. Personally, I do agree that we have way too many of Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, and there are a lot of other characters like, say, Cyborg or Nightwing that do deserve a new gold character, but anyways, they decided to give us another Batman, and I like Batman, so I'm not really complaining, but let's just take a look at him anyway. So, his passive is really, really long and really, really complicated. So, let's break it up into parts, but first let's go through the entire passive called Guardian Angel. So, Batman evades enemy in attacks and has a chance to throw a grenade that causes burning upon enemy tag-in. On teammate tag-in, a swarm of bats attack the enemy, which causes damage over time and a chance for the enemy's attacks to miss for 6 seconds. So basically there are like 4 parts of this passive, which we're going to break down. So first part, Batman evades enemy tag-in attacks. So what I assume from this, of course I don't have this character, I haven't tested it. I assume that is passives that involve tagging, and the one that comes to mind straight away is Cassandra Cain Batgirl's I forgot what the passive is called, some assault, the one that does 25% of your current health damage. That's the only tag and thing that I can think of, but I do know that there are a few others which I can't really recall. Or like the latest rebirth green arrow, when he tags in, he shoots the arrow. So those are the ones I can think about, but that wouldn't be a really good passive. But unless it's trying to say something like when the opponent tags in, their first basic attack or special is negated, in which case I think it's a little bit too overpowered, but we'll see what it actually is. And the next part is pretty self-explanatory. So he has a chance to throw a grenade that causes burning upon enemy tagging. So basically, when anyone tags in, he just has a chance to cause dot to them, and that could be good depending on how much damage it does, whether it does percentage health damage and how much percentage health damage it does per second, or how much damage based on his damage stat it does per second. So it could be really good, or it could be completely useless. So upon teammate tagging, a storm of bats attacks the enemy, which causes dot. So again, this depends on how much damage the dot does, and this is guaranteed to happen, so it's not a chance. So it could be really good, or it could be mediocre. And lastly, it's a chance for the enemy's attacks to miss for 6 seconds when your teammate tags in. Not when you tag in, but that could also be really good depending on what the chance is, and what the chance is for this passive to activate, and what the chance is for the enemy's attack to miss. So there's a lot of chances involved over here. But yeah, so I mean, his stats is the same as all the latest 3 characters, so to me he doesn't seem that good. It seems that he's a bit too complicated, much like the Rebirth Green Arrow, that it was really complicated and doesn't seem particularly good. Like, for example, when we first saw Injustice to Superman, before I even got him, I already thought that he was really strong, and he was. But for this guy, I think he has the potential to be very good with his dot, 2 dot passives, but we'll just see what happens when he comes out, and I think he should be a challenge. So next up we have the Master's Death card. So here are the abilities. This is 5 stars, fully maxed out. After tagging, blocking sub 20% less damage for 6 seconds. Now for me, I think that this particular point in the gear is, to me, it's pretty useless, because I would be trying to attack them with a special or my basic attacks when they're not blocking personally. Because personally, as you guys know, I use a team of Batgirl, Batman, Arkham Knight Batgirl, Arkham Knight Batman, and Arkham Knight the Arkham Knight. So I would be activating my specials when they're not blocking, and my Arkham Knight would block break them. So to me, this isn't too useful. And even if I were using a normal team, I think that I don't know. It's not useless, but it is not really a very useful skill, like the 10 tutorial abilities and all that kind of stuff, but it is okay. So next we have a 100% area effect. An opponent team takes 15% damage from your special attacks. So think something like the 4th row mace and the League of Assassins adept knives. But once again, I don't really think this is that useful, because 15% damage from your special attacks is not really a lot, even if your special does a lot of damage. Like, for example, if you equip Batgirl with Cloak of Destiny and do the stun thing, even if it does that much damage, I don't even 15% of damage isn't too much, because it's only 15%, unlike the 50% from the adept knives. So I think that this is another okay ability, but not great, but not terribly bad either. So it's just okay. And next we have 100% area effect. Opponent's team takes 35% damage on your combo ender. Now again, I think this is just okay. It isn't bad, and it isn't really good either, because only very few characters can take advantage of combo enders now, and I guess you have to gear them up something like with the Master's Death card, together with 2 out of the 3, which are the Gauntlets of Azrael, the Rage Ugly Scimitar, and the new gear, which I can't remember the name of, the one that gives a lot of basic attacks, and yeah, the one that just came like last update, the one that gives a lot of basic attacks and the combo under ability as well. So you could use 3 out of the 4 of those gears, of course using the Master Death card as one of the 3, and I guess that you could try to take advantage the most by using combo ender gears or basic attack gears to increase the damage of a combo ender, so the opponent team takes more damage. But I really don't think that it's that useful. So overall, this gear so far, it hasn't really been great, unlike the last two pieces of gear which we have seen, such as the tandem totem. But however, there is a redeeming quality of the gear that I think it makes it overall okay, or pretty good, I guess, which is the 100% chance to deal 20% unblockable damage on tagging. So basically, think about it like Cassandra came Batgirl's passive, but instead of doing 25% of their current health, you just do 20% of their maximum health. So basically, that would mean that if you tag in and out 5 times, you would knock them out. Of course, you wouldn't be doing that because you would be damaging them with your basic attacks as well as your specials, but 1/5 of the health gone just by tagging in is a lot. So I do believe that that is one of the great abilities of this gear, which I think saves this gear overall, because that could be a game changer altogether. Just imagine a team with like Hawk Girl and maybe you could put it on Injustice to Superman, and you just tag in, deal the damage, like do some basic things and specials. Let your Kryptonian fortitude get broken. You tag out, you tag back in, and you do the 20% damage again. And by then, you'll probably be pretty close to knocking them out, or you would have knocked them out already. So that's something that I'm thinking about. But yeah, that those are the only like two changes that happened in this patch. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video, and goodbye.